Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. I'm Platter V, series V's I do for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, I'm expecting this one to be good. But we never know. Anyway, folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside the truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is not the case in this particular instance. I've actually had this item for a few days now. I think I got it from Target, I want to say. Sounds about right in my head. And I knew I wanted to try it because I tried one of the other flavors. Makes sense. And on top of that, it gives me the opportunity to go over there and satiate Mr. Oda Khaled, who is one of my regular viewers and commenters. Super good dude. I know that he had asked me about certain products regarding this product. So anyway, what am I reviewing for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, folks, it happens to be, boom, sparkling ice, but not just any sparkling ice. It's also zero sugar and all that good stuff. It is Starburst cherry flavored sparkling ice. Let's get a thing for the thing. Can we get a thing for the thing? Ha 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 ha! Yeah. So, yeah, a while back, Oda Khaled had gone over there. He'd mentioned that, he'd like to see me review, some of the sparkling ice stuff. And I reviewed a couple of, the normal flavors. But then just recently, I think, they apparently did some sort of collaboration with Starburst, and they came out with a few of those flavors. I've already reviewed the orange flavored one. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I did review it. And I mentioned in that one, I'd probably get around to trying the other ones, especially because Orange Starburst is fine, but it's definitely not my favorite flavor of Starburst. Cherry, however, or red, let's just call it what it is closer. Pink ones are probably probably my overall favorite, but I do like me some red Starburst. So let's give it a go, and hopefully it'll be delicious. Either this one has less of a smell than the orange one, or I'm a little bit more stopped up today than I was yesterday. It could be either. Let's give it a go. Okay. All right, I can get behind that. For me, I feel it's a little less impressive than the orange one. The orange one pretty much immediately hit me in the face. That it was like, boom, this tastes like an orange Starburst. And I was like, damn, okay, there you go. This one took a little bit longer to convince me. It was like, I kind of taste like a red Starburst. And then I was like, do you? But it kept going, and it was, making its argument. And finally I was like, okay. Yeah, it's definitely evocative of it, but I don't think it's as dead on the head as the orange one was. I still like it. But in this case, a little bit at the end. In this case, I think that the problem I run into is that one of the flavors of sparkling ice that I really like is like their black cherry flavor. This is very evocative of that. That's where my head goes, because it's definitely based off of that. So it kind of overrides any Starburst-ness until the very end. When it gets to the end, I would say there is kind of an aftertaste of Starburst, which the orange had as well, but the orange was more distinct. And it really stood out for me. I think in this case, it's just, it's a nice cherry sparkling ice flavor, and I like it. I probably like it more than I like the orange one, but I don't feel it does quite as good a job as replicating the Starburst flavor. Um, but at the same time, I'm not saying there's nothing there. I just don't feel it's as distinct. Yeah, I mean, I like it though. One of the things, and I mentioned this when I've done the other sparkling ice things. A few years ago, I went over there and I wanted to decrease the amount of sugar intake that I was, taking in, which we should all be doing anyway. And sparkling ice was one of the first things that I went to because, like, I really liked it. It tasted really good. I was like, boom, great opportunity. Only problem was, as I went over there and I started doing a little bit more research, the sweetener that it uses is sucralose. And the problem you run into if you're trying to go over there and kind of, limit your sugar intake, sucralose and most other sweeteners act the same way in your body as sugar does, so it really doesn't make that much of a difference. Not saying it doesn't make some, potentially. I think the only one that does that I recall, and let me really hard emphasize this, I am not a scientist, I'm not a fucking food expert or sugar expert or anything like that, so please do not take what I'm saying as gospel, please do your own research. But I think the only one that's a little bit more forgiving is stevia, because that's like a plant-based thing, so your body kind of treats it a little bit differently. That's just, again, my personal, and who the fuck knows? I was looking this stuff up a few years ago. In terms of the product itself, I do like sparkling ice. I think they're really tasty. I think the fact that despite them being zero sugar, the zero sugar aspect of them is, while present, it is not prominent enough to really take away from the flavor and the overall experience. I also appreciate that while it is a sparkling water, it's really just shy of being soda. Like, it doesn't taste like a shitty sparkling water. It doesn't taste like LaCroix or any of that nonsense. It really is more of like a juice with some carbonation in it, in terms of the flavor and stuff. So, I like it. And I think that this particular one is nice in the same way that their black cherry flavor is nice. I don't really think it differentiates. It does, and I think honestly I like the black cherry more than I like this one. But it's nice. I don't think it's the best in terms of, again, replicating that Starburst flavor, but it's a good drink. 2 questions have to be asked. There we go. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? No, and kinda. The problem for me, again, is it reminds me a lot of their black cherry, and I would just get that again. I don't dislike this. If it happened to be, if I was like out at a friend's place with a group of people or something, and they had beverages available, I'd grab one. I wouldn't think twice about it, because it's tasty, it's not a bad drink. I just think in terms of sparkling ice options, I have ones that I prefer, and again, the Starburst aspect is just too negligible for it to really be a deciding factor for me. And by that same token, if I'm recommending it, it is the thing of like, well, yeah, okay, I mean, it's a good drink, but I think putting that Starburst on there creates certain expectations, and I don't feel like they're really met to a standard that I'm particularly impressed with. Again, the orange one, yeah, that one fucking hit hard, and it was like, boom, Starburst. This one, I like it more than that one because I like cherry more than orange typically, but I don't think it tastes that much like a Starburst. A little bit, but not that much. So, 5 things for you. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly proper Starburst-tastic rest of your life. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Starburst guy in the world. Used to like them more as a kid. Got older, I was more a little bit here or there with them. They're fine, but, not a go-to for me. Which makes sense. I'm 37, so. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You can try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful, frustrating, and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations like that where we have to deal with that type of stuff, it's important we go over there when possible, because it's not always. take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to try out the sparkling ice Starburst cherry. And maybe you're going to be like, Brandon, you are a fucking crazy person, and I personally think that you should be homeless because your reviews suck and you don't know what cherry Starburst tastes like. Well, I mean, okay. We can agree to disagree on certain things there. But at the same time, I'm not an expert on cherry Starburst. It's probably been a few years since the last time I had one. I remember what the fuck they taste like, and it doesn't taste exactly like that. But, at that point, I guess I would reach out to you and be like, why are you so upset? What's going on? What's happening in your life that you need to project such vitriol on a humble food reviewer such as myself? I'm just a dude. It's one of those things, man. It's the, I can't think of what it's from. But it's a great fucking quote where the one guy's just over there and just like, it's like, you think you could go over there and make my life worse? You fucking try. I mean, to be fair, he actually could. I actually have a lot of things to be very thankful for. But anyway, this is going in a weird direction. Don't be an asshole on the internet. I think that's what it comes down to. Actually, don't be an asshole on the internet or in real life. Bye.